friends, this is Aromie here. Welcome back to our live Baxter DLC. We are here having our appreciation party. But honestly, you should have known that group would have something up their sleeves. They become sorry, my hair is bothering. They become addicted to the party planning life, and they always return your kindness in return. Baxter should have too. Now that you thought about it, this was already the second party these people had thrown for his sake. Miranda ended your train of thought with a clap of her hands. She was smiling sweetly. If you want, we could even get dressed up again and make it a fancy party. It wouldn't be any trouble. There's enough time to do it and come back. And I know there's not a lot of chances to do something like that. Baxter's gaze started to you. Yours did the same towards him. His mouth hung open slightly as you shared a silent look. And then you laughed, Baxter freely so, while you attempted to stifle it. Listen, we already kind of did our... we already kind of did our own thing, you know? Just saying, kind of... I did not... Oh my god. Sorry. I did not notice my desktop audio was muted the entire time. 4 episodes in of no audio. I'm so sorry, guys. Good thing it's a generic audio, but anyway. We already kind of did our own thing. The trio of celebration conspirators are suddenly at a complete loss. I apologize. Baxter covered his mouth with a hand, realizing belatedly that his behavior was not quite gentlemanly. This is genuinely thoughtful, and it means a great deal to me that you went to the effort. The humor here is, well, the truth is, Michiko and I already had that same conversation, and we already gave ourselves an opportunity to dance in formal attire again. It was just last night, in fact. What? Your friend group erupted in unison even faster than when Baxter gave a formal sign-off through text. Terry threw his hands up impassionedly.
Yeah.
Do you know how fast we put this together? He kept one arm straight out in the air to hold up 2 fingers. It hasn't even been 2 days.
Not bad.
Correct. We don't waste time, I'm afraid. Baxter's cool answer dropped Terry's arms, and his jaw for good measure.
No way.
There's a limit. You cannot be that much of a social butterfly. Be a snail sometimes, V-man. Miranda gently took hold of Terry's shoulder. It grounded him enough to stop sputtering about insect metaphors. Then she shook her own turn to asking questions. Where did you go? You know. I mean, this is cute too. We can still dance here. Baxter slipped his fingers down his smirking mouth. He gestured the hand with a casual flick of his wrist. We have a place. Wow. Exactly as you hadn't expected them to arrange a celebration in your honor, Miranda and Terry and Cove never could have guessed you and Baxter would have had your own little party for 2. This is still great. It's not your fault we're like this. It's okay, thank you, I mean it. Hey, it's the thought that counts. This is still great. Exactly. Baxter restarted his efforts to convey his appreciation.
You're too kind.
Having a chance to celebrate with everyone here is incredibly special. Thank you all. And if it helps, our impromptu outing didn't include decorations or refreshments, excluding still water and paper cups. His words landed, and around the room, bewildered stares regained their spark. Terry punched a fist into his opposite palm. Got it. Forget fancy clothes. Let's eat those snacks already.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay. The crowd migrated towards the dining table, stacked with a mix of sweet and savory and pre-made and homemade delights. Getting all dolled up might have been motivated by Baxter's preferences, but the food was clearly to your taste. All your friends knew you well, but there was one person in particular who was likely to thank for that. It came in handy to have someone around who'd been by your side for almost your entire life. Still, there was enough variety that everyone else spotted something in the spread they wanted too. I think Cove will always be forever in our hearts. Like, I don't think Baxter could ever replace what Cove has in our heart, and I hope he knows that. Like, Cove will always get an I love you. Obviously a different kind of I love you to Baxter, but you know, he gets an I love you. A big draw was a single bright red handle of the controller cake that ended up on the menu. Terry assured you and Baxter they got permission for that. Just don't touch the wedding cake. They're saving it for themselves, and you wouldn't want to see Scott steamed. After all the drama with that thing, those guys grew attached. The party kicked off as the gang snacked and chatted. Cove, while piling a tiny plate with one of everything, mentioned how his dad was doing good. Same old, same old. Mr. Holden sent you a hi back. He said hey to the wedding planner guy too, though they never really talked before, not even when Baxter was staying in Sunset Bird. That was nice. Baxter cracked a joke that he'd known this was such a grand event, he would have brought a bottle of champagne. Terry helpfully explained that if Baxter had known this was a grand event, it wouldn't have been a surprise anymore. Baxter nodded at those wise words. Miranda listened in on the exchange, but didn't give her 2 cents on it. She quietly ate her slice of cake. Taking a snappy bite of a chip, Terry said something you didn't entirely understand. We've almost got a full house. Almost. Miranda replied to your question over her shoulder while she searched the room. You hadn't even noticed she'd started that.
Let's do it!
I'm gonna get Jude and Scott a video call.
Wait,
is it fine to bother them on their honeymoon? Baxter's brows disappeared under his bangs, and he shot out a concerned look. Miranda nonchalantly located her purse and, more importantly, retrieved herself from it. Is it fine? They're gonna be insulted. No, heartbroken if they don't get to check in on what's up with us kids. The phone was already ringing. Randy held it out towards her face as she navigated to the snack table. Terry's right. They've been calling me all the time. I already got to talk about the plan. That's how I knew it was fine to serve the cake. And move their stuff. Then I will leave this to your discretion. Baxter ran a tense hand through his hair. Few things shaped him more than reaching out to someone when he wasn't completely, entirely, and wholly certain they wanted it. But he was learning how to face that fear. The ringing stopped, and in its place, a deep voice filled the space, coming from thousands of miles away. Yo, Randy, Scott's here too.
Hey.
Hello from the Southern Hemisphere. Were they surprised? You can ask them yourself. She flipped her screen around to reveal June and Scott squishing together so they both appeared on screen. Terry and Cove both waved, though only Terry spoke out. Hello from your own house. Baxter smoothed out non-existent lines in his jacket and gave a perfectly proper greeting as if he was meeting the two for the first time. In a way, he was. This would be Baxter's first encounter with the men as anything other than people who needed his services. To someone else, that might have been nothing. To Baxter, it was monumental. Thank you for letting us make use of your home as a venue. I've never had more considerate clients. You started it. You treated us way more than just clients. And his excitement... Scott knocked his husband's phone. Scott managed to steady and get back in frame before any real harm could come to the device. Remember the groom's cake? An appreciation party fits the bill. Yeah, that was... well... It's good. Seriously, dude, relax. We're friends. The ruler straight line of Baxter's shoulder relaxed. He released a silent breath. Yes, I suppose we are. That keeps happening to me. I'm glad for it. Off to the side, Terry smiled mischievously. Rather than joining the conversation, he posed a question exclusively towards Miranda. He's friends with all of us, right? We're sure on that now?
Wow.
Well, I hope so. Maybe we're not grown up enough for him. Baxter graciously ignored the light teasing and gifted them with a rare, earnest admission. Though you had a feeling it wouldn't be such an uncommon thing any longer.
Certainly.
Of course, I'm friends with you, and you're friends with me. That's why we're here with each other. And don't worry, the closing of the celebration and the end of summer itself won't be farewell. I'll be available for you as long as I can possibly foresee the future. You know where to find me, and I'll make my own efforts to maintain these lovely friendships.
Great.
Good. Keep it that way. Baxter couldn't speak further. The most he could pull together was a shaky smile at the two men on the other end of the call. Then he cast his eyes around the room. Baxter was quite literally surrounded by people who wanted to be there for him. It was enough to choke you up. You knew more than most about Baxter's emotional struggles with other people, mainly himself. You experienced the ups and downs and the intense closeness and vast distances. None of it changed the truth. He was a good man. Oh, he's a good man, Samantha. Or whatever the lady's name is. Somehow, someday, someone would have seen that. It was inconceivable otherwise. Baxter would have found the friends he deserved no matter what. You were so grateful that you got to be numbered among them. Though you weren't Baxter's friend, per se. You were his girlfriend. And by that point, everyone knew. Everyone except the ones housing the party in honor. June and Scott were behind the times since going on vacation. Your gaze slowly crept away from the crowd to your new lover. When your eyes reached his face, you realized he was already looking back at you. He was thinking what you were thinking. You can imagine any other reason Baxter would suddenly stall. What is he thinking? What are we thinking? Are we gonna tell them? Before you hang up, I want to say me and Baxter are dating. I'm letting Baxter do it. He got your message and cleared his throat.
So?
Mr. Adam, or should I say my dear friends Jude and Scott. Since we are close and care about each other's lives, I think you may want to be made aware of a recent event. Baxter might have accepted friends into his life, but how he was supposed to speak to them was another aspect of healthy social behavior that he needed more practice with. Yes, tell us.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Luckily, Scott and Jude listened to the ramble with equal parts curiosity and patience. It was equal because Scott was 100% intrigued and Jude was 100% chill. Between the two, it evened out. Baxter grinned sharply. He did not keep them waiting any longer.
Excellent.
Wonderful. I'm Ichiko's boyfriend.
What?
Really? Scott gasped out a single word. His glasses nearly fell off his face with how fast he leaned forward. At least he didn't hit the phone that time. Are we the last to hear about this? Brandy couldn't help teasing both her big brothers.
Yeah.
Yep, it's been a whole 2.5 days already. You're slow.
Hold on.
We were kind of busy. Wait, hold up. Jude shut his mouth and squinted. He was mentally counting the days. After being in the bliss of a literal honeymoon stage, it took a second before he had a grasp on the normal passage of time. We started dating at our wedding. He figured it out. It was after he had left. Scott pushed his glasses back into place, letting that revelation truly sink in. Our wedding brought another couple together. No, we brought a couple back together.
Amazing.
That's awesome. It is. Thank you. I really appreciate it. This means a lot to me. Ruin smile. Jude snuck his hand past Scott to ruffle his curls. His face was full of pride and something else, too. Yeah, of course. Who could have seen this coming, huh? Scott snorted into his husband's shoulder. Baxter used the opportunity to lean over and whisper in your ear. I didn't quite get a chance to admit this, but Jude accused me of having feelings for you during the day I was alone with the two. I managed to dodge the question at the time, but Jude has been proven quite right. Oh, your turn to be surprised. As though this wasn't embarrassing enough already. Big siblings must secretly get lessons on things like that. They could all do it. At about the same time, an entirely different conversation was occurring.
Preposterous.
So now that it's official and everybody knows, we've got to go on a triple date for real sometime. Triple? What? It'd be fun, remember the bowling? Jude replied flatly, not moved in the slightest. Miranda nodded firmly in agreement with her family.
Not happening.
It's weird to go on a date with my little sister.
No.
The bowling was different. They weren't a couple then. But Terry merely waved off the siblings' concerns. We'll work on the details later. But hey, we don't have to stand around. Terry suddenly declared the party was ready to start. Let's get the music going. It's time to dance. That got Cove to snort, amused. You're really high energy about slow dancing.
Gladly.
True, and that would be delightful. Okay, I've got it. Randy scurried off as if someone beat her to the chore if she wasn't quick enough. In one corner was a speaker used at the wedding. She flipped a couple switches on it. Her phone had been left propped up on a counter, screen facing out. Scott and Jude could have hung up at any point, yet remained on the line. They decided to attend the whole shebang long distance. The two had plenty of experience with that. It was nice to be there, to spend time together. Nobody had it in them to draw attention to it, but the thank you party had a dual purpose. It was also a farewell party. After it was over, you couldn't be sure when you'd see most of these people again. At least in person, you needed to make the most of the opportunity. A delicate melody drifted into your ears. It filled out your own mind and the world around you. Then you caught eyes with Baxter. He'd been watching your face, presumably for however long you've been lost in thought. Don't worry about me. We came together, but that doesn't mean only I can have your attention. I think I'll take a moment to wander the floor.
Take care.
Enjoy yourself. Baxter's polite distance wasn't to avoid you. He was trying to not hinder you from having fun with the rest of the party. How considerate. He was shockingly the person you spent the most time with during the trip. It was all your other friends who'd gotten the short end of the stick. Okay, see you. Baxter bowed out there, but you could catch up with him later. For now, you take chances to chat in between everyone else's dancing. You wouldn't dance yourself. Yeah, I'm kind of over the dancing. So first we talked to we'll talk to Jude and Scott first. I'm saving Cove for last. Can I save Cove for last? I want to save Cove for last. Cause he's like ultimate bestie. What's his name? Dang, what is his name? Baxter, Cove, and oh no. What is his name? Hold on, I gotta load this up. I gotta see his name. Starts with a D, yeah? Derek! Okay, I fucking knew it started with a D. I just didn't remember much else after that. But anyway, thank you guys for watching today's episode. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.